that's what Lauren teaches women, is how to balance the we time with the me time. Single women are all doing me time, then they get in a relationship, they go into we time, and they give up me time, and now you become needy and clingy and too attached and dissatisfied. And whenever, ever you're dissatisfied, a big part of that is you're too needy. That's what we started out with, is demanding more than what's available to you. A happy, fulfilled person is not ever demanding more than what they have, and at the same time, they want more. Now, that's a paradox for women. It's hard to understand, but we have to just say it again, which is, I'm happy with what I have and I want more. That comes back to my basic dating theme, which is, don't look for your soulmate. Create a series of dating experiences where you're able to see what you like and what you don't like. You're feeding your consciousness with what I like and what I don't like, not because you're writing a list or doing a therapy session. You're actually experiencing it. What I like, what I don't like, in the context of soon, in a year, the right person is going to come into my life with almost everything I like and almost everything I don't like is not there. And I'll give you an example of that. My daughter, Lauren, she's 31 now, and she's been looking for a house for the last 3 years. And almost every Sunday when I'm in town, we will go look for houses, and her partner. And we're all looking, and we look at the house and we see what she likes and what she doesn't like. And I said, you just keep doing this and you'll see the right house will show up and the money will be there for it as well. It will just happen. And she trusts her dad. She says, all I have to do is just keep looking and say what I like and what I don't like, what I like and what I don't like, what I like and what I don't like. And it happened. She found the perfect house of what it's amazing to hear. She needed a certain number of rooms. She needed the room here. She needed this. Everything needed to be exactly the right. And then she found the house that has that and something more. She couldn't even believe it was there, that she didn't even imagine. And, that's what Oprah said. I remember Oprah saying, if you just stick with trusting and doing what you can do, move one step at a time, you will be rewarded more than you can imagine. But part of that whole journey is, what do I like? What do I not like? Without this emotional charge of, I'll never get what I want. And, I didn't get what it was, and being critical about it. No, it's just seeing what you like, seeing what you don't like, go on another date, what you like, what you don't like, constantly appreciating what you like. But you can't fully appreciate what you like if you're not also looking at what you don't like. But you can't even see what you like if you're in that hyper vigilant state of, I want to buy this house. So I told her, we're not going to buy any houses. We're just going to keep looking and looking and looking to get very clear about what you like and what you don't like. And it's all in the realm of like and don't like. There's not a lot of attachment to either, but this is what would be good. This would be good. And then bang, it appears, and it's at the right time, right when she could afford it. I mean, it was like amazing, the timing and the perfection of it. The way I found my house, and then I'll go into how I found my wife. But, it's finding the right person is another big question. How do you find a person, start dating? But once you're dating, you're committed. That's stage 3. Stage 4 is this really the right person for you to get married to? Is it a soulmate? Do you really stick with this and grow with this person? And, you use the house analogy. I mean, for me, I was looking for a house, and when I could afford more money for the house I'm in now, I've been here now 20 years. The way I looked for 3 years, I was looking every house. I know almost every house in Mill Valley because it's all been for sale. And I go in, I like this, I don't like this. And maybe it was a couple of years for me. And then finally what I did is I went and I said, I'm going to go find the best place in town that I would like to live in the most. And I went there and I saw the house that I would like the most. And I went and knocked on the door, and the house was not on the market, but it was for sale. And it was, for a certain number of reasons, it was for sale for about half price. So because I went and found the house and called up the person in another state and said, can I buy your house? I got it for half of maybe a third less than what it was worth. Simply because I was ready. I knew what I want. I looked at it and said, you are the one. But it was because I knew what I didn't like and what I like. And all the things I didn't like was not like I resent or I don't trust or that's awful. There wasn't any negativity associated with it. So again, coming back to our basic theme you asked me to start out with, which is create a series of positive dating experiences, taking note of what you didn't like and taking note of what you do like. And keep the intent to keep finding a partner that will have everything that you like. and coming from this non-needy place and watching that wanting to jump into bed right away and slowing that whole thing down, but always reassuring the man that the feelings are there, but you're just going to go slow. And that's one place I say it's okay to fake it. If the right guy, you may not feel any sexual attraction right away. And if he's like making moves and stuff, but don't you feel sexual towards me? And you can give him a little comfort and say, yes, I would love to have sex with you. I'm just not ready. And in your mind, you're telling the truth because you would say, I would love to have sex with you if those feelings were there. But you don't have to tell him those feelings aren't yet there. It's a little bit implied, which I need to go slow and I'm ready to go. But if those feelings are there, you can certainly say it, but then hold back till you have bonding with the heart and the mind and maybe a little bit more on the spirit. Spiritual bonding is where you share the same values. Mental bonding is often where you have differences, different point of view that's interesting to you. You know, if somebody's just thinking just like you, it's not interesting. If something is adding something to you, and often the right person for you doesn't do everything the same as you. The chemistry of opposites attract. If you're looking for someone who's just like you all the time, it would be boring. And it also doesn't help your soul to grow. It's learning to challenge, to integrate something different into your life, which means that there'll always be an attraction. And it starts out as you find them interesting. And then it's on the level of the heart where you start finding things which are similar and where you share things. But for man, that's the level where you need to do things and you see you make an impact. Another little insight into men, and we're in the fifth stage here where man proposes. I'm with Bonnie, I'm thinking, maybe she's the one, but I wasn't sure. And I was ready and I was looking. There's an old saying here I want to point out, which is men really can be with the right woman, but they don't propose because they're just not ready. And typically men that have many partners, the one they pick to marry is just the one that was there when he was ready to get married. So there's a place inside of men where they have to feel inside of themselves that they have enough to provide for a woman's happiness. They have to have a series of positive experiences where they feel confident that they can make a woman happy. And one time I was with a couple, they were together 9 years and he wouldn't propose and she loved him so much. But what had happened is they'd gone to see they'd gone on this tour of Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and she was just enamored with all the big houses and the beautiful lawns. And she was saying, oh gosh, I bet they have a swimming pool in the back with a diving board and they must have beautiful chandeliers. And he was hearing her, loving all those things, thinking she deserves that. And I'll never be able to provide that. So I'm not going to marry her. And so he's always saying, I love you and everything, but you deserve better than me. And so that's deep inside of a man. He has to feel his worth that he can provide for you. And if he doesn't feel that experience, he doesn't get the confidence and the motivation to make that commitment. In my own life, I'm with Bonnie and I've been with many women and I liked her more than all of them, but I wasn't ready to make a commitment, but I wanted to get married. And so then I remember I was taking her on a date to a resort 2 or 3 hours away, and I'm driving. I took the wrong turn, and instead of being in California, we're now going in towards Las Vegas. And and I'm like, oh my God. And I realized I was late. I I was wrong. I was lost. I pulled over the side of the road. I panic inside. I'm thinking, oh, she's going to be so upset because we're not going to make the dinner. We're not going to make the talk, where we're going to go. She's really wanting to do that. And other women have always gotten so upset about these things. So I pulled over the car, sort of dreading the moment where I had to tell her, I think we're in the wrong state. And I pulled over and I pulled out the map and to see what my wrong turn was. And I just said to her, I said, well, I don't know exactly where we are, but I'll look at the map and we'll get back on the road, waiting for the attack to happen. And she says, yeah, I don't know where we are either, but this is the most beautiful sunset I've ever seen.
Aww.
And I just melted, just like you just melted a little bit. And I just, if you could see what I did mentally, I got down on my knees and put my hands up to God. And I said, thank you, God. This is the woman I want to marry. And ironically, it's because she overlooked the mistake that I made. And that was a big thing for me, is to feel that I know I'm not perfect, but if I could still be loved, even though I'm not perfect, then I'm set for life. And that's what men are afraid of. They're afraid that, when you get to know them, you're not going to love them as much. And to know that I could show one of my weaknesses, which is getting lost and getting there late. And I know she depended on it, and she just made being with me and seeing the sunset more important. That was a kind of love that I wanted to marry. And I think every man is looking for that, is to feel that unconditional love, that acceptance, that he is still loved. But also another one we need as men is appreciation, which is we make mistakes, but when we do it right, we get a lot of appreciation. And when you can be accepted for being not perfect and appreciated for what you do provide, then you get the really big juice for men that causes men to totally bond. And they feel like a hero, and that's called trusting a man. When you give a man the message that you trust him, that stimulates more testosterone than anything. I mean, think about the hero. The hero is somebody you can depend on, somebody you can trust. And the problem with trust is that women think to trust a man is dependent upon him being perfect. So women will put men on a pedestal, and then when he falls off the pedestal, she goes, "Oh, I can't trust you." I go, no. You can trust him to be a good driver. You can trust him to do this. You can trust him to do this. But in this situation, maybe you can't trust him. But so many other areas you can trust him. And that trust erodes if you demand perfection to trust someone's doing their best and to discover what you can depend upon a man for.